understanding what you could call the foundational importance of ritual center point. Like if we want to understand animate ritual and how it's practiced, understanding that just as in us it unfolds around focal center points, ritual itself unfolds around focal center points, draws back into those focal center points. And this is something you see repeated over and over and over again. Like in the Kiva cultures in the Southwest, where I, until very recently, lived for a very long time. There's the kiva, right? The circular ceremonial space, and at the bottom of the kiva is the sipapu, and the sipapu is the navel, and it's the point of emergence, right? And in the Greek tradition, there's the omphalos, which people have probably heard of, which is also the navel, right? In the presentation, I show how the first recorded cave art that we know of at this point, and I'm sure this will just continue to get older and older and older as we study more, but the first confirmed example of cave art is a single red dot, a single point, a focal point. And in Indian tradition, I see an unbroken line from the old Paleolithic all the way up through today, where you see people honoring statues or rocks or special stones in special places with single points. A point of blessing, a point of demarcation, a point of I am going to take my attention here in the world, and because I am taking my attention there, then everything pours through that point where I take my attention. You feel what I mean? Everything pours through that point where I take my attention. Yeah. So how do we interact with sacred geology, geography, sacred space around us? We find natural coalescences and focal points to which to take our attention, right? And our attention lovingly, longingly wants to be taken in this way. We want to be drawn into these focal points. The human tendency to be drawn into focal points is exactly what makes your phone so addictive. It is a luminous focal point that's saying, look at me, stay, look at me, take your attention here. It's the same luminous focal point that the lanternfish exhibits underwater right before it chomps its prey. It's like, here, little fish, right? Come towards the light, little fish. Right? So where we take our attention is very, very important. I know that sounds simple to say, but where we take our attention, how we take it there, this is very, very important to ritual practice. Very, very important to cultivating our relationship with animacy. Yeah. Animacy and artistic, like the animate vision and the artistic vision and the ritual vision, as we explored in the ritual foundations section, like these are intimately intertwined. And artistry is the ability, right, to take one's focus, to illuminating aspects of the natural world, the natural symmetry all around us. And it's a celebration of that attention. Where we take our attention matters. In the Sufi traditions, they say that a being arrives at the place where our attention meets the larger universe. That an animate being is present. So like what is it when we take our attention, when say a Paleolithic ancestor going back thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years at Chauvet Cave in France, a Paleolithic ancestor takes their loving attention to a cave wall and paints a lion. And then 35,000 years later, a French scientist goes into that cave and sees that lion and starts having recurring dreams about lions. 35,000 years later. Something was transmitted, something came through that portal of attention, right? So when you say a being arises where one's attention, in many traditions, paint is alive. Many traditions, paint is not just something you like buy at the store. Right? The paint is alive. The work of art is alive. Where we take our loving attention opens up a portal for animacy to pour through. Right? Zen master Ichi said that, he was asked what is enlightenment, and he said attention. Take one's attention. Like right now, we take our attention to the pulse of the cosmos. Let's just simply take our attention there for a moment. It was there all along, right? That might have been a little short. We're going to do more practice a little bit later in the call, but we can go in for another minute, right? To the pulse of the cosmos. Take our attention to the pulse of the cosmos. So the pulse of the cosmos was there all along. Now, what's the difference? Why is there so much juice flowing between us all? You can feel it, right? Just immediately, just like that. Boom. What's the difference? We all took our attention there, right? Love exists vibrationally in the universe all around us all the time. And infinite artistry and infinite poetry and an infinite flow of rhapsodic poetic information. All of this is pouring forth from the universe all the time. Our invitation is to take our attention there. And when we take our attention there, it pours through. You feel what I mean? Yeah. The pulse of vibration of infinite artistry is happening all the time. If I'm an artist, I don't have to concern myself with is there less inspiration available today or more inspiration? That's a way of seeing it all as ours. It's not ours. It's there all the time. It's like the cauldron of Awen, the cauldron of liquid inspiration from the Celtic traditions, which you may have heard me talk about some. It's pouring forth all the time. Yeah, this is coming up in a coming presentation. It's pouring forth all the time. The difference is that we took our attention there, cleared out the vessel a little bit maybe, and took our attention there. And then sometimes we see it and it captures our attention as a point, as a spark, an ember in the night. Yeah, as a offering bowl pouring forth. You feel what I mean?